Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been a while since I have been on YouTube. A lot has been happening, a lot has been going on. I personally am still not really ready to talk about a lot. If you go on my Instagram, there's a lot of stuff there. But I'm here to talk to you today about building a strong support system. How to get people to agree with you, how to get people on your side, how to build a good support system, stuff like that. So, first things first. Let's talk about your mission in life, your purpose, and stuff like that. Because that's where people need to go back to. They need to go back to the basics. They need to go back to the beginning of specifically, why are you doing what you're doing? Why do you have this purpose? Why do you have this passion? So with this being said, sit down with yourself, write in a journal, say, I'm going to college, law school, this job, whatever it is, right? For this specific reason. This is what I want to do with it. This is why I want to do these things, and this is gonna help who. So this is how I say this: who, what, when, where, why, how, right? To find out your why. So who are you gonna help? What are you gonna do? When are you gonna do it? Why do you plan on doing it? How do you plan on doing it? And how does it impact someone else, and how does it impact you? You always have to think, I know this probably sounds like you might be like, what are you talking about? You do have to think about how it impacts you at the end of the day. How is it impacting someone else? How is it impacting you? And that is where you're gonna go into finding a strong support system. When you have that why, when you break down the why, it's then when you're gonna find people who agree with your calling and stuff like that. For me, it was always like, why are you gonna do it, Reyna? How come? Like, why is this significant in your life? What is this gonna do, right? So being a lawyer for me has always been something that I can be honest with you, I've never in my life, especially 5 years ago, I wanted to be a doctor. Like, I wanted to be an anesthesiologist. Never did I think that I would be a lawyer at all. It just wasn't a thing, wasn't in my mind. I didn't think so. I was working for nonprofits, so that was my thing. Like, I love nonprofits. To this day, I still love them. But as for working for, you know, being a lawyer, it wasn't there. So when I came up with my why, and it was always about rightful and wrongful sentencing, I saw it in a different way. When I started to see things, when I started to explain stuff to people, they started to realize, like, it was no longer about me. It was no longer about the lawyer title. It was about who I'm helping and why I'm helping them, right? So throughout the years, my support system has either, like, some people have left, some people have came, more people have left than came. I can be honest about that. Like, I've lost a lot of people in my life because they don't necessarily agree with what I'm doing, right? They don't agree with my age. They don't agree with, you know, anything. And that's totally fine. Everybody to each their own. Like, but you also think the right people are coming to you. Your support system is coming to you. Now, how do you build the great support system that's for you, right? This is where you're gonna have to do the work. You're gonna have to take out the toxic people and put in the good people. I know you may be saying, like, but somebody super close to me is the toxic one. They're the ones who don't believe in me. They're the ones who always shut me down. They're the ones who judge me. They're the ones who tell me I'm crazy, that my dreams are too big. That's when you tell them, your dreams may be stopped, but mine are not. And mine will never be. Because dreams continue, right? You just want to keep going and going and going and going and going, and there is nothing wrong with that. Trust me. If you are the type of person who has one dream right after another, after another, after another, after another, and you constantly see good things keep coming and coming and coming, like, all you see are good outcomes in your life. You see being a lawyer, doing this, changing this, you know, that is where you should be. And those are the people you should be around. And this comes into place where you do have to break a lot of those connections with people who don't agree with you. For me, I saw a lot of people who didn't agree with what I did, didn't agree with the non-traditional way of college. They didn't agree that I should be a lawyer this young. They didn't agree with certain things in that aspect, and that was fine. You know, not everybody's gonna agree with the same things that I do, because I agree with, there is rightful and wrongful sentencing. There are people who are put away that should not be. Again, everybody's different. So when choosing who to stay in your life and who not to, This is not about how long, because let me tell you something. People you met 5 minutes ago can have better intentions than someone you met 5 years ago. And that I stand by 1000%, because the people who I've met recently do truly cheer me on, love me, and care about me. And there are some people who I've known all of my life who don't, and that's fine. But I had to come to a realization saying that that was fine. Because if I came to a realization like, how come they don't love me? How come they don't care about me? How come they don't agree with what I do? If I kept dwelling on that, then I can tell you something right now, I would be stuck still with negative people in my life. I would still be stuck with having to keep that frustration, if that makes sense. So when you're trying to build it, it's not about it's not actively searching for people. It's about soul searching for yourself, getting your why down, understanding how come this is happening, how come, you know, people are leaving my life, right? And then that's when the people will come into your life. That's when the right people will come into your life. And that's when people might actually change their perspective of what you do. Because I was friends with somebody last year who did not agree at all. And then all of a sudden, the minute I graduated, they came back and they were like, I honestly see why you did what you did now. I see why you're doing this. I see these things, and I'm sorry for, you know, judging you in the beginning. I'm sorry for this. I'm sorry for that. You know, some people's mindsets might change, may not change. It really depends. So it's not about actively doing it, because the minute you start actively searching and soul searching for more people to care about you, to love what you're doing, to agree with what you're doing, that is when. So let's talk about parents. Parents who don't agree. I was actually talking to my parents about this, because my parents do agree with what I do. It's just that they agree differently, right? But I keep getting this question in my DMs, and trust me, it's been about like 95% of my DMs. My parents don't believe in me. My parents don't believe me. My parents don't believe I can do it. My parents always give me negative beliefs. Sit down with them and have the I am worthy conversation. I am worthy of this. I am worthy of goodness. I am worthy of being loyal. You have to have that conversation, because let me tell you something. If you don't have that conversation, you just automatically skip the conversation and you just go to the part where it's like, I'm going to do what I want. I don't really care. And you start fighting with them, is when it gets worse. The parents will eventually, trust me, eventually get on board. But you have to say, I know what I'm doing. I know I'm going to make it work. I know, like, you have to be willing to make it work. You have to be willing, like I said, to do it alone per se, although you're not doing it alone. You got me, you got everybody else. You're in the Facebook group, then you have everybody in the Facebook group cheering you on. Trust me, you're not doing it alone. It may feel alone because your parents necessarily don't agree with what you're doing, but if you have that, I'm going to do it either way, and I know what I'm doing, and I know I'm going to do it right. I have all the support. It may not be you, and that's fine, but trust me, it will come into place. Like, the way that you see things now may feel overwhelming. It may feel like my parents will never agree with me. My parents always talk down on me. My parents do this. My parents do that. My family just always says that I'm not worthy of it. I'm not worthy of being a lawyer. Or I've gotten this one too in my DMs. It's like, they just tell me I'm a minority and I'm not capable of anything. No, trust me, you are capable of so much. Don't let anybody stop you just because they believe that they're not capable of it, because that's really why people tear you down, is because they believe that they're not capable of it. It's not the other way around. It's that they probably are very scared that you might outdo them. And that's just the logic behind like my mindset and how I see it, is that when most people tear you down, it's because they're very scared that you may be able to outdo them and do better and bigger. So if you're a first generation student, like going through this experience, I can tell you something right now, you are worthy. You are very, very, very worthy of being a lawyer. The support system will come to you. It'll be attracted to you. The right people will be aligned to you. This is not about actively searching for one as support system. This is about actively searching for yourself. Anyways, guys, so that was a rant for me. But I hope that really helped everybody. And if you always have more questions, you can find me on TikTok or you can find me on Instagram. All my socials will be linked down below. And I love every single one of you. I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.